members of this 10th Assembly. Distinguished colleagues, these letters are personally written by the 27 members individually and sent to me in line with Section 101 of the 1999 Constitution as altered. Distinguished colleagues, I'll begin by reading the letter written by the Right Honorable Barrister Dumle Mao, the Deputy Speaker of this House. It reads, the Right Honorable Martin Chika Mewile, DSSRS, Speaker, Rivers State Assembly, Moscow, Port, Mr. Speaker, defection to the All Progressive Congress, APC. I write to bring to your attention my decision to leave the People's Democratic Party, PDP. This decision to leave the PDP is necessitated by the division in the People's Democratic Party, of which I was elected to this House. In particular, the tussle around who the National Secretary of the PDP is has now sharply divided the party and made it unclear as to who is the National Secretary of the party, thereby making it difficult for me to chart an appropriate communication channel. There are currently different court processes, as well as others, making it impossible to identify who the authentic National Secretary of the party is. The situation has made it imperative that I defect to the All Progressive Congress, APC. Therefore, I seek your indulgence in this regard, as to do the needful and recognize me now as a member of the APC and do accept the assurance of my esteemed regards. In line with the Constitution, I have read the letter in the floor of this House. It is the duty of this House to find out whether the conditions upon which this defection is made is sufficient for him to actually defect from the People's Democratic Party to the APC. Distinguished colleagues, the section of the Constitution has made it clear the condition upon which a member can defect, which is a division in his political party where he was elected into the House of Assembly. And from the evidence that is before us, it is clear that there is division in the PDP. And this clear division has warranted the decision of Right Honorable Dumle Mao to defect to the All Progressive Congress. On that note, distinguished colleagues, do we have any objection, or do we have any reason? Do we think it is insufficient, or the reasons he has so preferred are insufficient for him to defect? Our members, I bring it open to the House. Do you have any objection to this?
Okay, hold on.
APC!
Without a shadow of doubt, Wike is going to be defecting to the APC. We are seeing the script play out in our faces now. Wike is definitely going to the APC. What? This was the end point all along. This so-called state of emergency, this so-called crisis that brought about this state of emergency between Wike and Fubara and these lawmakers wanting to impeach Fubara at the time was always about stealing Rivers State, decamping, forcing them to decamp. When they did a state of emergency, they knew these guys were weaklings. So when Bola Tinubu did the state of emergency, considering the fact that it was even Wike that bought their nomination form for them, it was only a matter of telling them what they needed to do. So all this planned suspension was the end point. All this election that Ibas did and brought in local government commissioners and the likes and chairman and all of those things, it was just about this all along. So they've just played out the script that they agreed in the middle of the night, like they stole the election in 2023, that once we bring you back, immediately you defect. And you use the crisis in PDP to say, because of the crisis now, we don't know who the permanent secretary is or the national secretary is for the PDP, just defect quickly. All of you. So they use the deputy speaker's letter and they say all 27 of them wrote them individually by themselves without compulsion and say, now we're now defecting. Acknowledge us as now members of APC. And then let us go and sing on Bola Tinubu's mandate they want to, all of them want to fall. The criminality of the APC, the criminality of this Bola Tinubu administration, the criminality of the Wike's approach. This is what is playing out in front of us. So it is very, very clear that Wike will be defecting come 2027. As of this particular point in time, it needs to be in PDP to make sure that the crisis in PDP festers. It needs to be within the PDP to make sure that that crisis continues. Eventually, it will defect. Remember, Wike told Nigerians that his political base is River State. That if he does not have River State, it doesn't have any political relevance. So he needs to make sure that River State stays within his grip for him to be relevant in the corruption scheme of stealing elections. It's exactly what Wike needs. And that's what Wike has gotten. Remember, Wike himself admitted that he bought the nomination form with the state funds for all of these nominees, all of these guys, including Fubara. When Ibas did all this sham of an election, this local government election, this was part of the plan. Make sure APC wins. Let PDP get a couple of them. And obviously, when they all move, they will get those other 3 people to move. Those 3 other local government that PDP won, they will then defect. Election result written. Election result announced. Everybody defect. APC wins. Bola Tinubu is assured that 2027 they'll be able to rig the election. Remember, they lost River State. They rigged it. They lost Akwa Ibom. They lost Edo State. They lost Bayelsa. All of those south states, they lost. And now they want to make sure that they consolidate that power to make sure that come 2027, it is easy to rig that election. It's about election rigging. It's not about governance. All of these failed and so-called criminal state of emergency announced in Rivers State was all about election rigging from the beginning. The resources of Rivers State, they needed that resources for election come 2027. A government that is not working, not loved by the people, a president who is the most disliked president in the history of Nigeria, forms a plan in the middle of the night with all those people. How are we going to make sure that in 2027 Tinubu comes back? A government that has failed the people. Prices of goods and services have all gone up. Insecurity all over the country. And these politicians know that Nigerians don't like the APC. But yet that's where they're all defecting to, because they know that the elections will be rigged. And this is where Nigerian comes in. To stop that wicked plan, Nigerians must vote. Nigerians must be sensitized. Nigerians must speak up and make sure that these guys are made to pay heavily for them to lose this seat. For example, Martin Amole, all the 26 others that joined him in this defection, we have to make sure they lose that. Even Fubara needs to be gone. Fubara needs to go. The same thing that's happening in Rivers State is already happening all over the other states. Take Lagos State, for example. APC needs to go completely. That's the only way you can destroy APC and make sure Bola Tinubu lose. We need to make sure that you vote, you defend your vote. Because these guys are so wicked, you can see the cries of the people, but yet you look at your pocket and your own relevance. That's exactly the kind of person Wike is. It's all about Wike all along. It's all about Bola Tinubu all along. It's about political power all along. Not about governance, not about the people. For a former governor that has done his own 8 years, became troublesome for his person that comes after him. And now these people are finally defected. The same thing Nigerians knew all along. That's now played out in our very, very, very faces. So again, Wike is definitely going to defect to the APC. The groundwork is laid already. It's just going to be within the PDP to cause trouble, make sure there's unrest, and finally it will defect, because he knows the only relevance he has is with the APC. He needs to be close to power, and Wike is a power-drunk human individual. He's power-vexed. So he needs to be close to power to continue to showcase his non-entity as a person. I'm saying all of this because that's what it is. These people are not about governance or leadership. They are about election rigging. All this groundwork with Ibas, suspension of Fubara is what it is. And finally, Fubara needs to tell everybody what sort of deal he made with Bola Tinubu. Nigerians are watching. Again, put in the comment section whether or not you agree with this analysis. It's playing out before our very eyes, our very faces. Is anything, what can you say about this? Do you think I'm right? Do you think this is what's going to happen? Put that in the comment section. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and also hit on the notification icon and also recommend this channel to others. I'll catch you in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.